Hello, classmates, and Doc Mel, Rovi Velasco here, and I will be talking about part 10 of Module 1, Developing a Plan Through Community Toolbox. So first, let us have a refresher of what community development is. So it is a holistic approach grounded in principles of empowerment, human rights, inclusion, social justice, self-determination, and collective action. And this is according to Kenny and Connors in 2017. They are the authors of a scholarly paper about media studies. As defined by our reference material, community development can take many forms, such as improving local infrastructure, creating economic opportunities, fostering educational programs, promoting health and wellness, or enhancing cultural and social activities. So ultimately, it is about empowering communities to take control of their future and improve their overall quality of life. Now, what do I mean by community toolbox? So it is only a term used by our reference material. Excuse me. The community toolbox refers to an extensive online resource that provides tools, guides, and strategies for planning, implementing, and evaluating community-driven initiatives. It is a term developed by the University of Kansas and is aimed at helping individuals, organizations, and communities work together to improve their well-being and solve local problems. So the Community Toolbox provides a comprehensive guide for planning, from understanding the community's needs to evaluating the results. So developing a plan through a community toolbox or with the help of the community is a great way to create a structured and collaborative approach to solving community problems or achieving specific goals. The Community Toolbox provides a comprehensive guide for planning, from understanding the community's needs to evaluating the results, as I've mentioned a while ago. And I've made here a step-by-step guide that I have learned from our reference material in developing a plan for the community. So the first one is to assess the situation. So here we have three: defining the problem or opportunity, assessing community needs, and assessing community assets. So first, in defining the problem or opportunity, we ask the question, what issues are we trying to address? Making sure that it's clear and specific. And then we assess the community needs by the use of surveys, focus groups, interviews, or community forums to gather data on what the community needs and wants, and we assess the community assets. By this, we identify the existing strengths within the community, such as the community resources, the skills, networks, or partnerships that can be leveraged for the plan. The next step is to engage the stakeholders, and these include identifying key players and fostering collaboration. So in identifying key players, we ask the question, who is affected by the issue? Who has expertise or resources? So stakeholders could include community members, local organizations, government agencies, or businesses. And next is to foster collaboration. With this, we involve stakeholders early in the planning process. We can hold meetings to discuss issues, gather their inputs, and ensure a broad range of perspectives are considered. Next step is to establish your goals and objectives. Here, we set clear, measurable goals and develop objectives. So in setting clear and measurable goals, we ask the question, what are we aiming to achieve? We make goals specific, achievable, and time-bound. In developing your objectives, we break down the larger goals into smaller, manageable objectives. So each objective should help in achieving the overall goal. The next step is to develop a strategy or action plan. Here, we first identify strategies and activities, and we ask the question, what actions need to be taken to achieve each objective? So here, we consider who will be responsible for each action and what resources are needed. We also then set a timeline. We create a realistic one for each activity, assigning deadlines and milestones, and we determine the necessary resources. So what people, what funding, or what materials are required for each step. We need to develop a resource allocation plan. Next is we implement the plan. So for here, we have three. We carry out activities, monitor progress, and communicate regularly. So in carrying out activities, we start by executing the plan according to the timeline. We then track the progress of the activities and compare them to our objectives and make adjustments where necessary to stay on the course. And we communicate regularly. So we also keep the stakeholders updated on the progress, challenges, and successes. And the next step, or the sixth, is to evaluate and adjust the plan. So in evaluating the outcome, so after implementation, we assess whether the goals were met. We use surveys, interviews, or we can use data collection to measure the impact of the plan. Next is collecting feedback. So we gather input from stakeholders to understand what worked and what didn't. And we make adjustments. So based on the evaluation and feedback, we revise the plan as needed. This could mean changing the strategies, the timelines, or even resources to improve future outcomes. Seventh, and I think the last, is to sustain the efforts. So this include two, building long-term capacity and making adjustments again and celebrating successes, I believe. So in building long-term capacity, we think about how to sustain the effort beyond the initial plan. So consider ongoing partnerships, funding, and community involvement. And I believe we also celebrate successes here. We recognize and celebrate the achievements done and made by the community, no matter how small, to maintain morale and continued engagement. So, I thought of one example. Let's say we are planning a community cleanup event. So first, we assess the situation by identifying which areas of the community need cleaning and what resources are needed. Next, we engage stakeholders. So that's the second step. We bring together local volunteers, organizations, and government representatives. The third step is we establish goals. So we clean up 5 parks by the end of the month. Uh, fourth, fourth step is to develop a strategy, assigning specific parks to volunteers, providing trash bags and equipment, and setting a date for the cleanup. Next is implementing the plan. So we will hold the cleanup event and track the progress. And the last part is to evaluate and adjust. We collect feedback from participants about the experience and adjust for future cleanup events. So by following the community toolbox approach, we can systemically plan, execute, and evaluate any community-driven initiative effectively. So, for my discussion questions, the first question is, what do you think is the role that community involvement play in the success of community development projects? And the second one is, how do you think can technology and digital tools be leveraged to improve community development? So here are my references in my report. And thank you very much for staying with me. And I look forward to hearing your insights. Thank you.